Nutritionally and scientifically illiterate YouTuber Sv3rige claims that a diet based around eating raw animals, their secretions and ovulations is more nutritionally dense than a whole foods plant-based diet. Let's see what he actually eats in a day and then do a full nutritional breakdown.
Hey, another what I eat in a day video.
Not exactly full of energy, is he?
It's 6 a.m. right now. I've got around 300 grams of veal liver, as usual.
Baby organs are so much more succulent than adult ones.
Raw butter from France.
Zut alors! Congealed bovine mammary secretions.
It's over €5 each.
You could have got whole sacks of rice and lentils for that, with your out of work ass.
I usually get another one, but I didn't have it this time.
I see, how fascinating. What a surprising turn of events. This video is compelling viewing.
Raw milk.
Titty milk, the food of babies.
I didn't drink it for months, but I got used to it again in the United States, so now I do sometimes. Latviešu medus pilnībā neapstrādāts. Jau pārpagad vecs, bet garšo labi.
Sugar. I thought you were against sugar. Sugar, bee vomit and bee spit. Yes, that's right folks, after bees barf it up, they also spit on the honey to add enzymes.
This is the best.
No.
As I've said before, if you want to get into liver, try veal liver from a good source. It really makes a difference. I ate some of the best meat ever in Kentucky and realized even more how important it is that the animals are healthy.
Don't worry, the vast majority of them are pumped full of antibiotics because of the squalid living conditions. Shame these antibiotics wreck the health of our gut microbiome.
That the soil is good and so on.
Most farmed animals live on concrete floors and never see any soil.
Last piece. Tiny piece.
Gross. What a weird individual. How can anyone find that appetizing?
This is about the best breakfast ever.
Yeah, I don't think you'll find many people to agree with that. It's just a load of gross shit that'll clog up your arteries and some sugar.
This is how I eat the honey. That's it.
The same way a toddler might. I'm starting to recognize a theme.
I feel like it's a great combination with the milk.
Yeah, if you're going to get a ton of saturates, you might as well have some sugar with it too. A couple of the most harmful components in the world should always go together.
It's 10:30 a.m. I'm gonna eat some chicken wings. It's probably some grain-fed but what can you do?
It's probably covered in fecal bacteria, but what are you going to do? Well, you could cook it for one. Unlike us, obligate omnivores and carnivores have such strong stomach acid that they can get away with swallowing such pathogens.
And you gotta imagine that you're eating the chicken alive when you eat them.
What a sane, well-adjusted individual. He seems like the perfect person to get something as vital as nutritional information from.
And I've got some cucumber orange juice. It's mostly cucumber. I made it myself because I don't drink water.
You better be drinking a lot of it because all that animal protein is a huge burden on the kidneys without being dehydrated on top.
What's up? It's 1:30 p.m. I've got some oysters here. I bought 10 yesterday, got 5 left. I try to eat them once, twice a week.
Bedeutet, wenn wir die Eier natürlich so zu uns nehmen durch diese Lebensmittel, dann ist das natürlich
Lobster
nicht
and
mehr
oysters. The best food ever.
Nah.
It's been 1 hour since the oysters. I'm gonna eat steak tartare now. 6 eggs.
I've never seen so much gross, unappealing in my life, and the risk for food poisoning is huge. Oh my god, it's never ending.
It's the end of the day. I've got some ground meat here, this much. Raw milk, which I will finish, and the French butter. That will most likely be enough for today. Maybe I'll eat something more when I get back home, but probably not. Thanks for watching, everybody.
Oh, you're very welcome. I was only sick in my mouth about 5 times, so I plugged all of that gross weird into chronometer. Total carbs, 78 grams, about 1/10 of what I'd eat for maintenance. As carbs are our species-specific fuel source, it's little wonder that he's more docile than a sedated sloth. You'll see that he ate 0.2 of a gram of fiber. He'll say that fiber is not a nutrient, and while it's not a nutrient to us, it is the only nutrient to feed the Prevotella strains of bacteria that we need to be thriving in our colons in order to be healthy. Prevotella strains of bacteria break soluble fiber and the resistant starch found in insoluble fiber down into the wonderful short-chain fatty acids, acetate, butyrate, and propionate. Here are some of the amazing processes that short-chain fatty acids are involved in. They modulate the liver's production of HMG-CoA reductase, the rate-limiting factor in the body's production of cholesterol. This is a pathway by which statin drugs work, except instead of side effects such as muscle wastage and raising cancer risk, short-chain fatty acids also modulate the liver's production of glycogen in the same way that diabetes drug metformin does, and also works to naturally lower our serum triglyceride levels. Short-chain fatty acids are where colonocytes, the cells of our colon walls, derive their energy from. This helps them knit tightly together, keeping out pathogens and protecting against the development of allergies and autoimmune disease by not allowing in proteins that have not been fully digested. Short-chain fatty acids are a building block for neurotransmitters such as serotonin and dopamine, 95% of which should be built in our gut. Not in Sv3rige's gut, obviously. I mean the gut of a healthy person eating a species-appropriate diet. Anyone with the first clue about gut microbiome health and how pivotal it is to overall health will be trying to eat as much fiber as humanly possible. On to fats. He has eaten only 2.3 grams of omega-3. That's just enough for a woman, but a man should aim for 3.2, so he's deficient there. This is not like half the nutrients that Sv3rige says vegans are deficient on, i.e. non-essential nutrients such as simple dipeptides that we form in our bodies by bonding 2 amino acids together. This is an essential fatty acid and must come from the diet. You are looking at brain damage over the long term, so perhaps another reason why Sv3rige seems a little bit slow. Omega-6 levels are okay, but sadly he's only ingested the animal version, arachidonic acid, which is hugely pro-inflammatory. It can cause depression, anxiety, and pain throughout the body, and is at the root of many diseases. With the plant version of omega-6 found in things like nuts and seeds, our body gets to decide how much inflammation to make based on our needs, such as if we have an infection, etc. Sat fat, trans fats, and cholesterol are at several times the RDA set by every single nutrition authority the world over. The #1 killer of humans is coronary heart disease, the only critical risk factor for which is an elevated serum LDL. 3 things raise serum LDL: sat fat, trans fats, and cholesterol, and you are eating massive amounts of all 3. If you are thinking about taking nutrition advice from this mentalist, think again. He got a massive 244 grams of protein, more than I ingest, yet he's half my size. Animal protein is a massive burden on the kidneys, causing hyperfiltration. The increased consumption of animal products is the reason that kidney disease is the fastest growing killer in the West. Vitamin A is at 7,247% of the RDA. Vitamin A is fat soluble and toxic at high doses, and is reckoned to be the reason that, if anything, high consumers of dairy tend to have worse bone health than those that abstain. B vitamins are well covered except for B1, which just scrapes in at the minimum. As a nutritionist, I prefer to see people at optimal levels rather than just scraping in at the level that avoids disease. Choline is at 4.5 times the RDA. Sadly, choline, like carnitine, feeds pathogenic gut bacteria, and they create trimethylamine from it. Once oxidized in the liver, trimethylamine becomes TMAO, the molecule from hell. It accelerates atherosclerosis deposition and raises the risk for diabetes and several cancers. Vitamin D was woefully inadequate, optimal levels around 2,000 IUs for an adult. He didn't even make 300. Laughable really, considering how he says vegans are vitamin D deficient. Vitamin E is low too. You want to get some nuts, seeds, sweet potato, mango and leafy greens in your son. Vitamin K is half where you want it. Funny how you accuse vegans of being low on vitamin K too, and you're deficient in vitamin K. Of course, vegans get tons of vitamin K in all the leafy greens we eat. Bacteria in several of our organs turn vitamin K into vitamin K2, so there's no need to eat exogenous vitamin K. You'd know that if you had more than one brain cell to rub together. Minerals, calcium is a bit low. That, combined with a lack of vitamin D and vitamin K and an overabundance of vitamin A, means you should watch out that you don't start snapping your bones up. Iron is at 4.5 times the RDA. Sadly, it's all heme iron. Let's see what the experts at nutritionfacts.org say about ingesting heme iron.
If you just look at iron intake from meat, it's associated with significantly higher risk for heart disease. This is thought to be because iron can act as a pro-oxidant, contributing to the development of atherosclerosis by oxidizing cholesterol with free radicals. The risk has been quantified as a 27% increase in coronary heart disease risk for every 1 milligram of heme iron consumed daily.
So you've just raised your risk for the #1 killer tenfold. Not clever. Magnesium is about half where you want it. Magnesium is important for energy metabolism, so again, I think that speaks volumes. Manganese is a little low, and you're potassium deficient. One of the most important minerals in the human body, helps regulate water balance, muscle contractions, and nerve signals. A high potassium diet may help protect against high blood pressure, stroke, osteoporosis, and kidney stones, all of which you are at an elevated risk from due to your atrocious diet. To summarize, Sv3rige is deficient in 9 essential nutrients, plus water and fiber, and is at massive risk of developing one of the chronic diseases that most Westerners suffer and die from. The next time you think it might be a good idea to take dietary advice from this imbecile, book yourself a little holiday at your nearest mental hospital. You'll be so glad you did.
We have come in the dead of night to free